Hello, welcome to Unboxing the Boxes, the Star Wars collection. This is episode 7, The May Haul. Thank you for joining me for another show as I find out what is in my Star Wars collection. During the last 2 episodes, I rediscovered some of my vintage action figures all the way back from the late 70s and the early 80s. Today I thought it might be fun to go through what I've recently collected, basically in May. See what I've added to my collection just lately. So, some of these boxes I have not even opened yet, and it's been a while since I've ordered them, so I kind of forgot what I have in this collection of stuff. So let's find out what we've got. By the way, before I go any further, if you remember in one of the earlier episodes, I was going through my music collection and the CDs and albums and stuff that I had. Well, since that show, I bought one little CD that I did not have in my collection that, thanks to making the show, I realized I was missing. So I now have it, The Empire Strikes Back, The Imperial March. It's a single CD. And with this particular one, the CD is actually in the form of Darth Vader's head. Kind of nifty. I thought it was kind of a neat little addition to my collection. It's a used one, because I don't think I'm going to find any new ones anymore, so it's a little beat up, but the price was pretty decent, so I don't mind so much. But at least I now have it in my collection. So we'll put that over to the side here, and maybe we'll move these over to the side to make room as I open these up. I also have my trusty little pocket knife so that we can open these boxes. But before we open the boxes, we're going to start with the bag, because our local store here doesn't do a very good job of carrying everything. Once in a while I'm lucky to find a set of something, or even particular action figures, because action figures are the main thing I collect. Although you can kind of see behind me that I did start collecting the Funko Pops, which may or may not have been a mistake, but they're cute. So let's see what I was able to pick up at the local store here. And these are the new retro figures put out by Hasbro. Basically, they're a remake of the original figures we kind of looked at the last couple of shows, on new packaging, which is designed to look like old packaging, like you've had it beat up. You can see the edges here look like the card has been beat up and so forth, but actually that's the way it's printed. The card came that way, so they pre-beat it up for you. And then on the back here, basically they have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different languages in the back, so these must be going worldwide, shipped just like this. And it says the Star Wars Retro Collection is inspired by the 1980s Star Wars figures and features original figure design and detailing. Continue your collection from a galaxy far, far away. So, the first one I pulled out of the bag here, of course, is Han Solo in his Hoth gear. They did kind of follow the same card, but of course to make it so that it's not the original ones, they did put the little logo here that says Retro Collection Series in different languages. So there's Han Solo. And of course, if we've got Han Solo from The Empire Strikes Back, we better have Lando from The Empire Strikes Back. One thing I wish they had on the back of these is they used to have a little description of the characters. They don't have that anymore in here, but it does list the collection series, which includes Princess Leia, Han Solo, Yoda, Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker, and Lando Calrissian. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 figures in this collection. We'll see if I've got them all or not. So anyway, there's Lando Calrissian with his vinyl cape. Back of the card looks pretty much the same. Who's next? Well, we got Princess Leia in her Hoth gear. Once again, back is about the same. Front has the little, this is actually a sticker on here. It's not part of the print, it's a sticker. I can feel the edges of it. So there's Princess Leia for you all to view. Woohoo! So that's 3 of the 6. I only have 5. See which one I'm missing here. Here's Yoda. I kind of don't like that. The card got a little curved. Don't want to bend it back too far. All of a sudden I do bend it actually. But there's Yoda. And you'll notice in the last show, I think it was the last show, we had Yoda with the snake around him. And here again, Yoda has the snake around him. And the final one I have here is Luke Skywalker. His Bespin gear. So, it looks like the one I'm missing is Boba Fett. Gonna have to get him and try to find him somewhere. And I kind of like to have the whole series if I can find them. And if not, well, I guess I don't have the whole series then. Alright, now it's time to start opening the boxes. Well, maybe we'll start with a box that I already have opened. This one I just had to take a quick glance and just to see what was in it. And it is a series of action figures. And we'll see which ones I have here. Yeah, maybe we'll just put it right here. Supposedly, the whole series is here. So, or the wave of this series. And we're starting out with an action figure from The Last Jedi. Supreme Leader Snoke. Yes, I collect them from the original trilogy and I collect from the later movies, the sequels. Pretty much collect any of the action figures I happen to come across. This one is kind of nicer than the previous cards in that it has pictures of the other figures in that wave or collection or series, whatever you want to call it. And in this particular one, it says, celebrate the legacy of Star Wars, the action and adventure-packed space saga from a galaxy far, far away. With this collection of premium, high-detailed 3.75-inch scale figures and vehicles. Each sold separately, subject to availability. Well, there is Snoke. Maybe we'll put him over here. How about that? Who's next? Well, if we have Snoke, of course, we better have Kylo Ren. In all his evil glory. I get a kick out of how they call these the vintage collection. Kylo's not very vintage yet. And, oh, the glue is starting to let loose already. Brand new action figure and the glue's letting loose. Not so nice. Here we have just a rebel soldier from Hoth. Kind of a nice one. The detail is very good on these. I really like it, and I like the backpack that came along with this one. You can see it there, maybe if I can get the glare out of the way. I'll put him over here for right now. Next, we have Stormtrooper, a First Order Stormtrooper. Again, this one is from The Force Awakens, so the second one from The Force Awakens. Forgot what was this one from. Well, The Empire Strikes Back. So I'll have to put the original series over there. Here's another one from The Force Awakens. This one is Rey from Jakku. Wearing her Jakku gear. And last but not least, we have Jen Erso from Rogue One. And this does complete the series because all 6 of these figures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, are listed on the back of the card here. So we do have them all. I really don't understand why they're calling it the vintage collection, other than for this one here with the Hoth Trooper. None of them are vintage, but hey, I'm not part of marketing over at Hasbro, so. Well, I'll put these back in the box for safekeeping. And at least I have that set. Unlike my other one that I was missing Boba Fett. Maybe if I'm lucky, Boba Fett's in one of these. I doubt it. I don't remember ordering Boba Fett separately. Well, as you can see, this one came from our favorite online retailer. And who do we have? Oh my goodness, it's Princess Leia. And as you can see, the box is beat up, and so is the card of the action figure inside. We couldn't put, Amazon, really, you couldn't put a slightly bigger box. The box barely fit the card of the action figure. In fact, if you look at this, it doesn't even fit in the box flat. They had to bend it to get it in. Not only is the card bent up, but so is the bubble. So not real happy about this one. Bend it back a little bit, but yeah, that's permanent. That one's not going to be out. As far as the detail on Princess Leia goes, this is from Yavin, where she was presenting the medals. It does have one medal there for her to hand out to either Luke or Han, or maybe she could give it to Chewie. After all, Chewie didn't get a medal in the movie. So maybe she could hand those out to them. But yeah, it's a nice action figure, but Amazon blew it with the packaging. Now it makes me a little worried about this one. It's about the same size box. I have a feeling it's one action figure again. At least this box doesn't look beat up. So we'll see what it's like on the inside. Oop, didn't get far enough down. Well, it's a little better. At least this one we got a couple little air wraps in. But here again, the figure just barely fit in the box. But whoever packed this one did a much better job. Got a little dent in the card right here, but otherwise the card looks very good. This time we have a range trooper from the Solo Star Wars movie. Actually, I like this figure. Wonder how many of you that collect stormtroopers have this one in your collection, and do you have a bunch of them? Actually, I like this one. It's a little heavier than normal. As you can see, it's kind of a little thicker than your normal stormtrooper action figure, but of course he's wearing all that winter gear. So, I like this one. And the card's in good shape except for that one little bend. The bubble is attached. The bubble is not dented. So this one they did a good job with. We'll cover up Princess Leia here. Oops. Little heavy on that one. Then we got this box. And I pretty much completely forgot what is in this box. And I purposely did not go online to try to figure it out. Well, it starts with the little air bubbles. Ooh, we have a collection, it looks like. See what we have here. Hopefully, it is a retro collection again. Remember the first 5 we started with? Well, let's see what we got here. Once again, we have cards that look like they're beat up. At least these guys. This one was not from Amazon. I forgot where they came from right offhand, but here again, on the back of the card, it says the Star Wars Retro Collection is inspired by the 1970s Star Wars figures and features original design and detailing. Continue your collection from afar, far away. And once again, they do have the little sticker on the side. And we can see that we're starting with Princess Leia Organa in her gear from A New Hope. And this one, they did show a picture of the 6 action figures on the back. Let's see, did these guys do that? No, They listed them, but no pictures. Here they pictured them, and they listed them on the bottom here. So, we got Princess Leia. That one, ooh, it would stand. Princess Leia is really thin here, so didn't know if it would stand up or not. And then, of course, we've got Darth Vader from A New Hope. And interesting, he does have the little lightsaber that you got to take. I don't know if you can see that from the side there. The little telescoping one. I doubt this is a double telescoping, but kind of cool. Next, we have Luke Skywalker, and yes, this is an old-looking action figure again with the little lightsaber that you can push out of his arm. Gotta kind of like the way they sculpted him with the yellow hair. I don't think they had as many colors back then as they do now. But I like this one. You can tell it doesn't have near the articulation that the newer figures have, because the arms are just one shot. It just turns at the shoulder. The legs only turn at the hip. So not a whole lot of articulation. The head does turn. So there we got the family together. Let's get these two out of the way here for a moment. Of course, if we have Princess Leia, we gotta have Han Solo. I don't know if you can see Han Solo. That does not look like Harrison Ford at all. You can tell these were maybe rushed just a little bit when they originally did these action figures. We'll put him by Princess Leia. Next one. We have the Stormtrooper. Well, no, let's go with Chewie first, because Chewie should be next to Han when I set him up here. And one thing I'm really amazed at, they're all skinny. The bubbles are not near as thick as the bubbles of today's figures. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're very thin. This card got a little bit bent, but nothing that damaged the card. But there's Chewbacca. And then finally, we have our Stormtrooper. And that card did get bent up a little bit here in the corner. The other cards are not bad, but this one got a little bit of damage, but not too bad. And it looks like all the bubbles are fairly well attached, so don't have to worry about the action figures falling out. But there's the original Stormtrooper. So there, we do have all 6 of the action figures from that collection. Now there's one other little one that really doesn't belong with any of this stuff that we just opened up, because it's a Black Series figure, which these are the 6-inch Black Series figures. If you've been watching Disney Plus and The Mandalorian, you know the Child has made a very big impact, not only on the series and Star Wars in general, but also pulp culture. Well, the Hasbro came out with a Black Series The Child figure with the little frog, and they made it to scale with the other 6-inch models. So the Child figure is actually a very small figure. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. You can see the frog in there, and the Child. This thing is almost big enough, or small enough, you could use it with the 3.5-inch action figures, or 3 3/4 inch. But yeah, kind of gives you a interesting take on how small the Child actually is if you place it next to a 6-inch action figure. Well, that's it for this show. Got a little longer because we went through quite a few action figures. Next week, or next time, I plan on going through some of the vintage stuff again. Maybe hit back to the 1970s, 1980s. So if you've enjoyed this show, hit the like button, leave a message, comment. I try to reply to them. Also, I hope you're enjoying these shows. Subscribe. And may the Force be with you, and keep collecting. See you next time.